Hello, hello, welcome. This is Linda, and really it is Here's to Your Good Health. However, it is a new year and a new you, and we're really excited to have members of the Y, personnel from the Y, coming tonight to talk to us about their various programs and what they do and why they're here and why you need to be part of the Y here in our fair city. So, and we've also got breaking news. I've always wanted to say that. I can actually say that. We've got Kaila, who has a new job for the new year and a new you.
Yeah.
So, Kaila, tell us about that, the breaking news.
Well, I have recently been promoted to Associate Executive Director. So, I've been at the Y for 7.5 years now. In numerous roles, but excited to branch out and kind of take on some new responsibilities and just help support all departments in the Y and help create some efficiencies and leadership there. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's nice when you've been somewhere and they recognize your abilities, and it's just awesome. I'm really proud of you. That's great.
Well, we've got a great team at the Y, and we all really work together well, and we're all there for the same mission and for the same purpose. So it makes it a great place to grow.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's nice when you're a cohesive team. Sometimes you don't have that where you work, so it's nice that you've got that.
That's true.
So I just wanted to start, and we just talked about this briefly, but just give us a kind of a overview of the Y, not necessarily just our Y here in Rocky Mount, but the Y as a whole, because it's been around for over 100 years, I believe, and it started as a young women and young men Christian association. I don't know what that was, if it was housing or whatever. But so just give us a little bit of information about that.
Yeah, so generally the Y did start out for housing and for Bible studies, Young Men's Christian Association, just like you mentioned, and then there was a Young Women's as well, and that merged. Our particular Y was built to be housing for railroads, so that's why the downtown branch was right there at the railroad station.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So workers that would come in and out of town, that would give them a place to stay for the night, play basketball in the gym, take a shower, have a meal. And the Y is actually responsible for things like Father's Day and creating the sport of basketball and volleyball. And so some of those things you may not know unless you actually looked into our history. But a lot of the sports and programs and swim lessons that exist now nationally would not exist without the Y. And what's interesting and what I like to share, and recently from looking back into history, is that some of the programs that we offered then we're still offering now hundreds of years later. And so I think that speaks true to the value and the core of why we do what we do and why we're in our communities. Is the need's always there. We always need to teach people how to swim. People always need to have physical activity and an outlet and a social place. And one of those things being childcare. And I'll kind of turn this part over to Taylor. She's our expert in that area. She's our youth and family director. So I kind of let her share some of the offerings that we have in childcare.
Okay. Go, Taylor.
So we offer a few different programs. So during the school year, we actually have before and after school care for our pre-K and school-age kids that attend Nash County Public Schools. So we have before school care at Benvenue Elementary School, Cooper's Elementary, Winstead Avenue Elementary, and that also includes Inglewood kids, and they get transported from Winstead to Inglewood in the morning if they attend before school care there. And then we have before school at Nashville Elementary School and Springcup Elementary School as well.
So it's really spread out across the county.
Yeah. So what is before school care?
Yeah, so
great question.
Yeah, and that's kind of targeted to our parents that might go in a little bit earlier to work. And we open at 6:30 a.m. and we have care on site at those school locations until the bell rings. So they get brought to that program and they kind of hang out, do some homework they might have needed to finish from the night before.
Get breakfast.
Yeah, stuff like that. to kind of just get their day started.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a nurse, and so, for years I was at the hospital. I had to be on the floor at 6:45, so
Yeah.
I could have dropped them off at the Y and zoomed right to the
Absolutely.
hospital. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
We need that. So
Yeah.
that's really a super service for parents.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after school, I can kind of figure that one out. But go ahead and expound on that.
So we actually have a lot of our before school kids that attend after school as well. So we offer that program at all the same school sites, and we also have a program at Bailey Elementary School, Red Oak Elementary School, and then we also have an on-site program at the Y. And it's kind of what the name is, after school. So they go after the school day is ended and they get checked in. They have a snack every single day. We do different activities. They do homework, go outside and play on the playground, do an arts and crafts, science and math, stuff like that. But it's until 6 p.m. and a lot of those kids are in both programs where the parents definitely
Sure.
need that care. So
Yeah.
Most parents, they don't get off until 5 or 5:30, and
Yeah.
so when the school dismisses at 3, there's that gap in time. So
Yeah.
again, just kind of trying to be the bridge in the community and fill in gaps in service that people need, so that they can work.
Well, and it's so convenient
Yeah.
because you'll pick up the child if they're at a school that they're not at and bring them to one of your programs. And I know you have trained personnel, and
Yeah.
sounds like you have fun things to do. I gotta
Yeah.
come play one of these days, I think.
yeah,
But,
and for that on-site after-school program, we actually transport them from their elementary school that they go to and bring them to the Y. So they have a few
really?
different options they can choose
Okay.
from, depending on what they're looking for, where they
Sure.
live,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
what are the ages for these before and after school programs?
So before and after school is at elementary school age, and we also offer it to 4-year-old students in the pre-K full day programs at Nash County Public Schools. So that 4-year-old range until 5th grade is what we do
Okay.
for before and after.
Okay. That's awesome.
And then on site at the Y, when we transport them there, that's actually a 5-star state licensed childcare facility. So
Oh, that's not easy to get.
it's not, and it's not easy to maintain,
Maintain.
but
That's right.
it takes
I
a lot
know.
of work, a lot of
Yeah.
I's dotted and T's crossed. But that also allows us to accept government vouchers. So people that have DSS vouchers, we're able to accept those, so that could pay for their childcare on site at the Y.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
a really great
Yeah.
benefit.
My daughter teaches at Nash Community College. She teaches the preschool program.
Okay.
And so the
So you know.
the preschool at the college, I don't know if it still is, I imagine it is, but it's 5-star. And
It's
I
licensed,
know
yeah.
it is tough to get, and like you said, tough to maintain.
It is.
The standards are high.
Yeah.
And, which they should be.
Absolutely.
Our kids are our future. I don't have
sure.
a problem with it, but I just know that that's quite an accomplishment to be able to say that.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So anything more about the school programs? Before, after, during?
Yeah, so we offer all those programs
Uh-huh.
during the school year, and then we also have a summer program whenever the kids are out of school.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The
So-
best time of year.
Yeah, it's busy, but it's
We
the
love
best.
summer camp.
Oh, you do?
We do.
Uh-huh.
There's a buzz in the Y that's just the kids are out of school and they're in the gym, or they're in the pool, or they're on the soccer field, or they're on the playground, and just the energy from, again, 6:30 in the morning to 6 p.m. We're still providing care all day,
Yeah.
all weeks of the summer, which that's something that our program does that other programs in the area don't. So the minute they get out of school to the minute they go back in school, we're providing care. So just being that constant provider, that safe space, that keeping those kids active and
Right,
learning and
right,
having fun.
right.
And she's got some really awesome themes planned for this summer. So
You already got this summer planned?
We've already started. We started a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned something about, that the Y years ago started basketball, and I think some of my grandkids played at the Y, some sports. Is that still going on as well?
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
it is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they played soccer.
Okay.
Yeah, so we actually have a TOTS program as well that we offer to our 2 to 4-year-olds to kind of get introduced to the sports. And that's one of the things we offer is that basketball, soccer. We're doing variety sports right now. So for 6 weeks, they do a different sport each week with their parent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Really
Gosh.
just teaching them the foundations of the sport and getting them excited and having fun and
Socializing with
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Those kids, they need that socialization. I think we found that out with COVID when we locked everybody
Absolutely.
down. That
Yeah.
nobody, we can survive without it, but we don't do very well.
Yeah.
We need to interact. We're human.
social,
We're
yeah.
social. We need to have that socialization.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, I think that's great. You must have a lot of employees doing all that after before and after school care.
Yeah, we do.
That's a lot of people you need to have all those programs going.
Yeah, so we have at least 1 to 2 counselors at all of our sites, and then our bigger sites we have multiple. And then back to that 5-star licensing, those staff are highly trained. They have a certain number of hours they have to meet each year to make sure we're giving the best care from the best staff to our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of
Yeah.
childcare staff that we work with.
And that's one of the places we're actually hiring for too. So
Oh, okay.
we have part-time positions available for before and after school, and also bus drivers. They don't have to be CDL. They don't have to have their CDL, but that would be great if they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if people love kids and are available during the hours of 3 and 6 p.m. or either 6:30 to 8 in the morning, we're pretty much always hiring for before and after school for a part-time, and then also for summer camp. And I think you have plans to get registration and applications open soon for summer camp.
Yeah, so we're going to have our registration open for summer camp programming February 12th.
Oh, wow.
And then we're going to open our hiring
I'm
portal.
thinking Valentine's Day, and they're already got down the summer.
Yeah.
I am not together when it comes to all this.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be.
Yeah, and it filled up really fast last
Yeah.
year, and we're expecting the same.
Very fast.
And then we're going to open our hiring portal for our summer camp staff March 1st.
Okay.
So got to get them in
So
and
if
working
anybody
and
needs a
ready.
job or you want a part-time job, this sounds like something great
Yeah.
for an energetic retiree. They
Absolutely.
got tired of the day-to-day corporate
Yeah.
and loves kids. That sounds like 3 hours a day.
Well, and I think that's a great point. Our part-time workers, we were actually talking about it earlier today, that we really want to have someone that is more seasoned paired with a younger staff. So, maybe a college student with a person that's retired, and pair them together so that they can play on their strengths, and they can also relate to kids in different ways.
I think that's
The people
great.
with wisdom, they're able to provide that structure and that guidance and safety. And the people that are younger, they're able to get on the floor and run around
Yeah,
and get sweaty
yeah,
and have fun.
yeah.
And so everybody's needed, and everybody has a place at the Y, whether that is employment or through membership. There's many different avenues to get plugged in.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
How exciting that is. It's a new year and it's a new us.
It is, it
So
is.
let me just ask you this. You know how everybody makes their New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to exercise, and I'm going to do you see a big surge in January, and then by March it goes away like everybody else?
We do, but it's a new year, so maybe they will stick with us and
That's
get plugged
right.
in.
That's
And
right.
we really try to focus on engagement and retainment. So we want them to come in, we want them to have New Year's resolutions, and that's great. And we're excited that they're joining. But we also offer things like a healthy living orientation, where they come in and for free they can learn how to use the equipment and kind of get acquainted with upstairs, so it's not so daunting the first time that they go up
That's
there.
where the exercise equipment is
Yeah,
upstairs.
yeah.
Okay.
Which we actually just, our wellness floor is upstairs, yes.
Okay.
Which we actually just got a lot of new wellness equipment. So if somebody hasn't been there in years, or especially since COVID, we've completely revamped our wellness floor. So a lot of new equipment, a lot of kind of newer, trendier wellness pieces up there. So I think it would be worth it for people to come and check us out and at least get a tour and see if they'd be interested in
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
We do those all day long, every day. We're open 7 days a week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we are. We are.
What are the hours on the weekends, if I might ask?
Saturday, I think, don't quote me, it's on the website, but I think we're 7 to 5.
Okay.
And then Sunday is 1 to 5.
Okay.
Sunday is 1 to 5. Sunday
Taylor knows that
Sunday
one.
is 1 to 5.
I should know, but
Well,
we change
that's
it.
all right. You can't know everything, and that's why you have phones to make references.
Yes,
because
that's
you
right.
can't
And it's all on the
remember everything.
website too. It's
Yeah,
all on the
there you
website.
go. Yeah.
So
And what are your hours during the week? You start pretty early and you close
5 to 8:30.
5 a.m.
Mhm.
to 8:30 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So pretty early.
And you have showers and all that. Like if I want to go and bring my clothes, I can work out, get up a sweat,
Absolutely.
take a shower, come to work.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have men's locker room, women's locker room, boys and girls, and we even have a family locker room that's intended for people that need assistance. So if you have, a little girl and her dad's taking her to swim lessons, or a handicapped person with their assistants. So there's a locker room for everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you've got the child care down pat. Is there a statute, or I didn't see what he did. I don't know if he's there to see me. Is there like, and you said something about federal funding. Is there, like a ratio of, 10 kids to one counselor? I don't know. I'm just, or you just choose your own?
So it really just depends on the age group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the younger kids, there's definitely going to be more teachers in the room. They need more hands-on assistance.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we do try to stay in that 1 to 10, 1 to 12 ratio.
Okay.
It's kind
Yeah.
of where we stay in our classrooms.
Yeah.
And there's additional oversight too. So even
Yeah.
if there's, one staff in the classroom, there's usually our child care manager and our youth and family director there on site. So there's additional hands that are able to help.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, we got a couple more minutes before our first break. So what can we talk about for 2 minutes, Taylor?
So I could give a little snippet to what summer is going to look like.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I guess a few of my themes that stick out to me, they're my favorite ones, is our Camp's Got Talent Week. Our kids loved that last year, so we have a talent show, and all of our groups had a dance routine that they practiced
fun.
with our counselors for
Yeah.
that week. And then we're also going to have a Community Helpers Week, which we're going to talk about our police officers, our firefighters, our EMS, our trash
Oh, that's
workers.
good. Kids love all that.
Yeah, and definitely have some visitors come and see our kids and kind of show them what they're doing in their neighborhoods that they see all the time. And we do field trips, so we go on at least 6 field trips during the summer.
What kind of field trips do you do?
So last year we went to a few different places. We went ice skating, which was so much fun.
Is that in Raleigh? Where is that?
So we actually went to an ice skating rink in Greenville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the kids loved that. Some of them had never seen ice skate before. So it was something new. And not all of them mastered it, but they all tried.
Sure.
And we went to Sylvan Heights Bird Park, and they loved that.
That's an awesome place. It really is.
New
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. And that was just a few of the things that we did. We had the sheriff from Nash County and sheriff from Edgecombe County come visit our kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did a lot of fun stuff. And we base all of our activities for each week of summer on that theme that they have each week. So
Awesome.
if it's an outer space theme, we're going to have dodgeball, and it's going to be called Meteor Shower, something like that.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
kind of stick to that weekly theme to get the kids
You're
excited.
so creative.
She is.
It just blows my mind.
She is.
Wow. All right. Well, it's time for our first break. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the why. We'll have Kaila give a little bit more of what's going on there. And if you have any questions, give us a call for. What's the number, Lee? 407-1111. 252-407-1111. I've only been doing this 10 years.
It happens.
But give us a call, especially if you have some questions about programming, or you want to talk to Hope about Taylor about the child care. Just give us a call. So don't go away, and we'll be right back after these sponsors. Hang on.
Looking for a nursing position that has the benefits of a large hospital, but a culture where you're more than just a number? At UNC Health Nash, you can get both. Take advantage of great benefits, including signing bonuses up to $25,000, student loan forgiveness, and much more. Plus, gain valuable frontline experience in an organization that prioritizes nurses' feedback. Apply today at nashnursing.com and discover how you can get big city benefits at this small town hospital.
Are you looking for the perfect space for your business in Rocky Mount? Discover the individual offices available on the 4th floor of the Healthview Capitol building in downtown Rocky Mount. These offices provide a professional environment with stunning views, ample natural light, and modern amenities in a secure environment. Join a community of thriving businesses and elevate your company to new heights. Rent includes utilities and Wi-Fi, and for an additional fee, you can have access to the building's gym. Schedule a tour today by calling Leanne Wester at 252-977-1616, extension 1012.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't rise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
and the Y all rolled into one. So we've got Kaila Billups with us, and we've got Taylor Pope, who I just called Hope. I don't know how I got Hope out of Taylor Pope, but I managed to do that. But anyway, they've been talking about things at the Y, and Kayla's going to talk to us about their annual campaign. I know if anybody's lived in Rocky Mount and looked at some of the billboards, you will see the annual campaign, which, you know, we've got to have money to make our businesses work, and we have to count on other people to help us. You can't do it all yourself. You can't expect all the moms and dads to fund the entire Y with the after-school program. I mean, it's just not practical. So go ahead and tell us about that, Kaila.
Yeah, so we are actually just about to kick off our annual campaign for this year. And so what that is that's really money that goes to creating equity in our community. So that looks different, and really we try to divide it in 3 different general categories. So one would be supporting our youth. So we kind of talked about child care in the first part of the segment. So that may look like financial assistance for a kid in one of those programs.
So you do have some of that for moms and dads who can't afford that?
Yes.
Okay.
So what that process looks like for financial assistance, and it does apply to all of our programs, so not just before and after school.
Okay.
But that's one way that we impact youth is through financial assistance and creating that equity component. So people can apply for financial assistance. There's a process for that and some forms that you have to fill out, and then you're awarded typically up to 50% of could be membership dues and or program dues. So whatever those fees are, it could be split in half essentially.
Well, that's good, especially some people have got 5 and 6 kids, and that
Yeah.
gets to be a little pricey.
Yeah, exactly. Our second bucket would be advancing health equity. So that looks like our food box program, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute.
That's right. I forgot about that. I want to hear
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, and then also ensuring access for all. So that's through some of our chronic disease prevention initiatives, like our blood pressure self-monitoring and enhanced fitness. There are evidence-based programs that we actually take outside of the walls of the Y. So some of the work that we do extends beyond just our facility and our building. And then community outreach, so our drives that we do, whether it's a blood drive or a food drive, or our partnerships, or any events that we do, like we're going to the Women's Heart Healthy event for the hospital that's at the Imperial Center. So different things like that, that's what that money's going to. So that money is not going to pay our bills. It's not going to pay salaries or anything in the building. It's actually going back to the community, directly back to the community. And I think that's something that makes me want to give when it's time for the staff to give, is the fact that I see it on the back end. It doesn't go to our wages. It doesn't go to the light bill.
Right.
It really goes back to the people that need it the most. And I think, what it is about asking money, and it is, sometimes that's a taboo topic, but I think you invest in the things that you care about.
That's right.
And if you care about the why and you care about the work that we do and you see the impact that we make, then every dollar really does count, because that's directly going to someone that needs that. And speaking of youth, I'll let Taylor kind of share a story of a financial assistance child in one of our programs and where that money goes and what that looks like.
Awesome.
So we had a little girl in summer camp, and she was having a lot of shifts in her home life, but she really wanted to come to summer camp, but mom couldn't afford it, the flat rate that we have set for camp. So she applied for financial assistance and got approved, and she got half that rate drop, so she was able to come to camp. She came to, I think it was like 11 out of 12 weeks. She was there all the time. She has a really big personality, so you can't miss her. She also was involved with our gymnastics program, and then she's in after school care. So she's coming through the Y, doing all of our programs. She's really involved, but she wouldn't be able to do that without the financial assistance that we offer through annual campaign. So if people didn't give their money to the Y to go to these programs, she probably would never have been able to come.
And
So-
then you shudder to think what kind of summer she would have spent. What would she be doing? Where would she been? She wouldn't be getting the nurturing. She'd probably be sitting on a phone or in front of a TV. And this way she's interacting and she's learning, and it's just wonderful.
And then to
That's
think
great.
what that looks like, 20 years down the road. So
Sure.
we're talking about a summer right now, but we're also talking about a child and what she's going to grow and develop into. And statistically speaking, the statistics do speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
So keeping her safe and keeping her involved and socialized and educated and in a nurturing place, like that's our future.
Absolutely.
That's what this community is going to be in
That's right.
20, 30,
That's
50
right.
years. So
Absolutely.
investing in our youth, that is going to pay back in dividends.
Yes. For sure.
So I think that's something really important. So back to the money.
Let me just interject one thing before we
go
go to
ahead.
the two things before we go to the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
One is you mentioned the word safe, and we live in such a chaotic world right now, and
Yeah,
for sure.
it's pretty unsafe in a
Yeah,
lot of
it can
places.
be, yeah.
And so I would. My kids are obviously all grown, but as a mom, you always want to put your kids in a safe spot,
Yeah.
and as a mom, you can't always be there.
Yeah.
So to be in a place like the Y, with people who care,
Yeah.
they're there because they want to be, and they want to grow and nurture children like you've been expounding on. I think as a parent and a grandparent, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And one other thing, and that is, if everybody would give $5, you don't have to say, oh, well, I don't have $1,000, I don't have $5,000, and I don't know what Kayla's going to say about the money. But I just know that you know, I've been around a long time, and it's the same 10 people that do everything in the school, and the same 10 people that do everything in the church for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
And it's the same 10 or 15 people that give the money. But if everybody would give $2, I mean, $5, I don't think Kayla's saying, I will only take 500 or more.
Yeah, definitely not.
You know, and it all adds up. Okay,
does.
I'll shut up. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, you're covering it. So I talked about, you know, we're starting the campaign, and so I think an important part to mention is that today in our board meeting, our board of directors were asked to give too. So we're not asking anything that we're not already doing.
Absolutely.
So our board of directors are donating, and our staff are also donating, and our staff always hit their goal. And for them, for a 16-year-old lifeguard that's making, you know, a humble amount of money an hour, you know, they are donating several hours of work out of their paychecks. And if they can do it, and
Right.
they are needing that
Right.
money for gas to get to work and to get to school.
16-year-olds, it's all about that 16-year-old.
Exactly. Then
Yeah.
everybody can. You can
Right.
you can find $5 or $10, and it does. It all matters. It's a ripple effect, and it all goes into that
Exactly.
pot.
Exactly.
And I think it's about giving to something bigger than yourself. So
Yeah.
giving and
Yeah.
investing in our future, kind of like what we were talking about. So on the food distribution, I'll hop back to that. We serve 48 families every month and do food box deliveries weekly to
Really?
those families. Yes. So that's something that you mentioned COVID earlier in the show. That's something that was actually written in our strategic plan that came to life throughout COVID when the Ys and the gyms were shut down. We were operating childcare under the emergency order, but the rest of our staff went to serving food boxes. So we developed partnerships with the food pantry and A Touch of the Father's Love and other organizations in the area. And identified families that either are transportation insecure or have other components that just make it hard for them to get food, and established food routes that we take them shelf-stable food, but also we supplement those boxes with, it may be bacon or eggs or just trying to advance health equity in our community because we are so health insecure here.
How are those people chosen? How do you know who to give this food to?
There's a process, and it's an application process, so it's not like everybody can just hop on that train and get free food, which I think is important to note because you do want to know that your money and what you're investing in is going to the right people.
That's right.
So there is an application process for that, But yeah, so $1,000 donation or $1,000 comprehensively can serve a whole month of food for those 48 families.
wow.
So
Yeah.
that's what some of that money is going to. It's going to, again, we're more than just the gym and swim. We're more than just the Y, and that's what sets us apart from other gyms in the area. But that's some of the work that we do outside of our building. So really being able to pour into those families. I mean, we partnered with Right for Revival for the Christmas box donation. And we ran routes. We had our full-time staff and our volunteers and some of our part-time staff on the buses. And
Our bus drivers.
yeah,
we were the bus
drivers. And we ran those routes, and we were able to deliver like ham and sweet potatoes and eggs and bacon and shelf-stable foods to those families and try to help them provide a similar Christmas to what you and I may know, but people down the street may not have that experience. And a single mom with multiple kids that relies on public transportation can't always get to the grocery store because who's keeping her kids? Or, you know, we had a family that there's someone that literally has cancer and was laid back in the recliner and just counting the days. And so their caregiver that doesn't want to leave their side, but they still need to eat. So there's a lot of those families that we're serving that I think they kind of fly under the radar. We know they exist, but we have ways that they're identified and that we can ensure that they get food.
I think that's great because we, the three of us, and we probably as most of the audience, we don't realize those desperate needs.
Yeah.
And unless you talk to people like the Ripe Revival folks, that they have a profit side and a nonprofit side, but that nonprofit side, they really work very hard to to bring fresh foods and those kind of things. But you and I aren't in that. We get up and go to work and do our thing and go back home, to a warm home with lights and heat and all that. But
and we take it for granted.
Yes, we do. But there are people that don't. And I know there's a group here that it's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Yeah.
And they do, they give beds to kids that they don't have a bed at their house. They're sleeping on a pallet on the floor.
And in Rocky Mount, like we're literally talking up the street.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking, out in the boondocks where nobody goes because it's only cows and goats. I mean, we're talking downtown, right in
here.
Rocky Mount. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know where they are necessarily, but I think it's just important that we, as a community, realize that when you can identify 48 families, that might not sound like a lot to some, but to other, if you're one of those 48, you're very
waiting
grateful.
on that monthly box.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And you're
right.
and you're so grateful for that donation. And we've also secured funding from Golden Leaf, which has been awesome. So we're working to build out our cafe to be a food pantry, and we're going to be able to serve up to 75 families every month in the next 2 years. So we secure a lot of grant funds that help us supplement the donations that we get to really extend and expand that work that we're doing. So that's a really big initiative that we're pushing right now, and I think that's one that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts in our community, because there is it's a big gap in health equity in our community. And so I think really pouring and investing into that, I think we will really see some benefits over the next decade.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So,
and this is all part of your campaign. And
Yeah,
you
it
only
is.
do this once a year, don't
we
you?
do. We only do it once a year, and like I said, all the money goes back into the work that we're talking about right now.
And do you have a certain goal? I know
We do.
somebody puts up a thermometer. Who is that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
United Way does it, and we
United
do too.
Way. Oh,
Yeah.
you do too?
Yeah,
Okay.
they exceeded their goal, which we're grateful for too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so our goal this year is $155,000. So that's the biggest goal we've had to date. And our community part of that is only $38,000. So the rest
That
of
doesn't
that,
sound like a whole lot of money.
it's
really.
not. It's not.
I mean,
I
I'd
think
like
we'll
to have
exceed
that
it.
in my bank account, but really, when you think about everything that the Y does and the employees they have and the building, you've got to, like you mentioned earlier, pay the lights and that kind of thing. That doesn't sound like a whole lot of money.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I mean, 10,000 is hopefully from the board, 7,000 from our staff, and 100,000 from major gifts component, which is a separate kind of category, but 38,000 from the general public, and that really just comes from storytellers. So people that know about the Y, know the story, or really want to just give back. And even if they don't want to donate financially, if they are just want to donate their time and want to share the story and share all the impact the Y is making in our community, just kind of like what we're doing now, just having a conversation.
Correct.
And then saying, would you be willing to donate to the Y, whether that's volunteering or giving $5,
I know.
it's really that simple. So we are obviously wanting money to go to the annual campaign, but we're also looking storytellers. So if you or anybody you know is interested in giving to the Y financially or with your time, we're really looking for storytellers and to hit that campaign goal and to continue to do the work that we're doing. So they can call the Y and they can ask for Carrie or one of us, and we'll definitely connect them with the right people. But that's about to get ramped up. We just talked about it in board meeting today, so you're going to be hearing a lot more about it.
The billboards are coming.
They're coming
up. Okay. All right, it's time for our next break, and when we come back, we'll keep talking about the Y. There's still some exciting things, and I'm really glad that they're here and we can learn out about all this. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Kaila and Taylor.
Looking for a nursing position that has the benefits of a large hospital, but a culture where you're more than just a number? At UNC Health Nash, you can get both. Take advantage of great benefits, including signing bonuses up to $25,000, student loan forgiveness, and much more. Plus, gain valuable frontline experience in an organization that prioritizes nurses' feedback. Apply today at nashnursing.com and discover how you can get big city benefits at this small town hospital.
Are you looking for the perfect space for your business in Rocky Mount? Discover the individual offices available on the 4th floor of the HealthView Capitol building in downtown Rocky Mount. These offices provide a professional environment with stunning views, ample natural light, and modern amenities in a secure environment. Join a community of thriving businesses and elevate your company to new heights. Rent includes utilities and Wi-Fi, and for an additional fee, you can have access to the building's gym. Schedule a tour today by calling Leanne Wester at 252-977-1616, extension 1012.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't arise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
Hello, welcome back. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center, and we have some of the employees from the Y talking about the Y and all they do. I've learned so much tonight. Didn't know about their food box their program, and she's talking about some pantry, so she can expound on that a little bit. And they've got, I knew that they did before and after school care, but you know, just the fun things that they do with these kids is pretty awesome. So Kaila, I'm going to turn it back over to you. We talked about the campaign, and what else you got? You got notes over there, so you got more to talk about.
Well, when I heard it was an hour, I came prepared.
That's a good thing.
So I guess really what we wanted to also highlight was the position. So we've kind of talked a lot about how great the Y is and all the great things we're doing in our community, and how you can get invested, whether it's through programming or through our annual campaign. But another way you can get involved is through employment. So we have full-time and part-time positions available at the Y. And a little benefit or a perk of being an employee is that you get a complimentary membership. So if you're looking for a membership and want a job as well, that's kind of a 2-for-1. So right now we're hiring for a healthy living director. So that's a full-time position. They oversee our wellness department and also our gym. So they are in charge of all the equipment upstairs in the track, the basketball courts, and so we're really looking for someone that is active and fit, and they oversee our Group X classes as well. So they really have a hands-on approach to a lot of the people. So that's our personal training. That's our, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there like a degree for that, or what
so-
kind of qualifications do they have?
Yeah,
to have?
so we would prefer a college graduate with like an exercise science major or something
Okay.
similar, kinesiology, sports management, something of the kind. A lot of people that work well in that job come in with a personal training certification, although it's not required, or a Group X certification. Some experience would be wonderful, not required but preferred. But really just someone that's eager and wants to help people and meet them where they're at, whether that's learning to walk around the track, coming out of PT, or wants to be a bodybuilder, and everybody in between. So there's something there for everybody. And so someone that is active and willing to do that job. That position was just relisted, so it'll be open for about the next 30 days. So really looking to have someone apply for that. We are another full-time job we have is our outreach coordinator.
Yeah, so we are actually looking for someone who would work with our outreach director. And their big major project would be that food pantry that Kaila talked about earlier. And getting really involved with that, stocking the pantry, working on the renovations, kind of taking that head on. And then we actually just applied for a grant to start a teen program at our Y, and that's kind of an area that we don't have as many options for right now, but we're looking to grow it.
And that's really needed, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's with the Y Alliance in North Carolina, so kind of partnering with other Ys and seeing what they're doing and what we can do at our Y.
Sure.
So we are looking to start a SILT program, which is counselors and leadership training. So that teenage group, 13 to 18, they'd be working in our child care center with our counselors, being kind of like a shadower. And then we're going to do a lot of other things, working on teen mental health and things like that. So that coordinator would work in those projects.
That's
with that director.
exciting to me.
Yeah.
I've got a heart
Yeah.
for teens.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot for little ones, and there isn't as much for teens. So I'm glad that you're embracing that and looking for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that person really, someone who's looking for that people service and getting involved with all the outreach that the Y does, and being involved in the community, working with our grants and things like that. And that is a full-time role, and I believe that's posted as well.
That is, yep. That one's on the website as well, harrisonfamilyy.org. And what we mentioned at the beginning, with my transition, we're also going to be hiring an aquatics director, which that's what I started in. So that was my first role at the Y. So I think it's a great job, and people that start in that role are usually successful. Our current CEO started as an aquatics director as well.
Okay.
So we kind of joke about that. But anyone that has aquatic experience, preferably a degree like sports management or something of the like, business degree, and with experience in aquatics, so swim lessons or lifeguarding or lifeguard training or swim team, that one's going to be posted hopefully by the end of the week, first of next week, and that'll run for another 30 days. So they'll oversee our aquatics department from all the programs. So I kind of mentioned some of them: swim lessons, swim team, lifeguard training, management of lifeguards, water fitness classes, the pool schedule, adaptive swim with our school system. So they will oversee all of that aquatics. So that's something that's exciting, a role that hasn't been hired for in a long time.
7.5 years,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
So we're excited. I am excited to see that go up. It's bittersweet, but they're going to be great.
Yeah,
they'll be in good hands.
We got to move on.
That's
sometime.
right. That's right.
And I just wanted to say that my brain. You know, when you swim the lifeguard program, it's tough.
It is.
It's very tough.
It is.
It's not a fluff job. You can't say, "Oh, Billie Jean loves to swim and he'll be great at being a lifeguard," because it's tough, and the testing is tough.
Yeah, we want to make sure we can save somebody's life. So
Because my granddaughter wanted to be one, and she didn't make it.
Oh, well, she should try again.
Yeah.
Well, she's past that now.
Yeah.
And she should have tried again, but
Yeah.
because when she was like 17, I guess.
Yeah.
But she didn't, and,
Yeah.
and it's okay. But
Yeah.
that's how I know, because she said, Gigi, you have to do this and this and this, and I, and of course my grandmother's heart said, oh, poor Phoebe, and the practical nurse part said, well, you better know what the heck
Yeah,
you're
you
doing.
gotta
You're
be ready.
saving a life.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
No,
had to
yeah,
throw that in.
No, but I think that's a good point. And I think
Yeah.
too, it's interesting to point out we also have guards that are in their 60s and 70s. So we're really searching for daytime lifeguards. That's one of the part-time positions we have available. We mentioned that the pool's open from 6 a.m. to right now 2 p.m. and then again from 4:30 to 8:30. So those hours vary during the summer, but we're really looking for somebody that, like daytime lifeguards, that can come in and work during the day, because that's when our high school lifeguards are in school. So we have openers, and all of our high schools can close the pool, but daytime lifeguards. So it's really not too late. So if somebody's retired and they just love swimming or had a background in swimming and want to get back in it, it's a great way to get plugged back in. And you kind of mentioned socialization. We have guards from 15 up to 70 plus. So
Wow.
it's incredible.
awesome.
It is. It's a great department to be a part of. Another part-time position we have is a maintenance position. So someone that could come in the afternoons and just take care of facility needs, whether it's maybe trash, it may be the floor, or maybe fixing something in the basketball courts. Just someone that's handy and again, just looking for a little part-time job. They're really needed. There's a lot of use in our facility, especially with all the new members with the new year. So we like to keep it kept and all that. So.
Sure.
And then another part-time position we have is our youth food program coordinator.
Yeah, so in our child care offerings, so before or after school care summer camp, we feed meals and snacks through federal food programs. So during the summer, we offer breakfast, lunch, and afternoon snack. And then during the school year, they get a snack in the afternoon. And we give them 5-component snacks in our licensed child care center. So for those kids that might not have dinner at home, they're getting a full meal whenever they come and eat snack at after school care. Yeah, and then for the summer camp, making sure our kids are fed and ready to take on all the fun activities, and if they're fed, they're happy and they're ready to take on the day.
Well, and
So, yeah.
you can learn. You can't learn if you're hungry.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that role would be kind of overseeing all of that food portion that we have in childcare. So planning those meals, ordering the food, preparing the food, reporting back to our federal food program. So
Sure.
it really needs to be someone that's passionate about food work, that wants to work with kids and feed kids and make a difference in their lives. So yeah, we're looking for someone part-time for that in our child care center.
And that does have the capacity to go full-time too, and they probably could share some of the work with the food pantry. And so there's greater capacity for that. It's listed as part-time, but also has availability to go full-time. There's a lot of need for food, especially in our community. Food insecurity is a real issue. So
It is. It
we're looking
really
to kind
is.
of bridge that gap.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. You got a lot going on.
We're busy.
Makes me kind of tired just thinking about all the stuff that just you two have to do, and there's all these other folks that need to do things too. So
Yeah.
It's it's a great place to be. And
It is.
I did want to say something about you. I don't know, you mentioned, there's gyms that are cheap, $10 a month, and they're fine for what they do. And if you're just, you just want to work out and do nothing else, I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, this is really a community-centered organization,
Yeah.
and it's not just exercising.
Right.
That's part of it, but that's not all there is. And didn't you mention something about somebody going and doing blood pressures and that kind of thing?
Yeah, we have a blood pressure self-monitoring program that we actually do in Tarboro at their senior center. And we run enhanced fitness there as well, and those are evidence-based programs. But you kind of took my elevator speech. That's what I tell people is that, no, you did a great job. You did a great job summarizing it. But that's what I tell people. I tell them, if you're looking for a transaction gym, then that we may not be that place for you, and that's okay. There's a place for everybody.
Absolutely.
But if you're looking for a place that your money goes further than you and to make impact and really transform not just you mentally and physically, but actually transform our community, then that's where we step in.
Yeah.
Because, we've talked for an hour now and really not mentioned the gym, because we're so much more than that.
That's right.
We're so much more than just the transaction of coming in and working out. And while we love the members that come in and work out, they get it though. They're there because they get that we're just so much more than a gym.
Right. That's
and we have a nice facility, and we have awesome people that work with us. But everybody that's there gets the case for support, and they get why we raise those funds for the annual campaign, because we're so much more than just a piece of equipment on a gym floor.
That's right. And you haven't mentioned anything about various classes. I know you offer yoga, and I'm sure you have different dancing classes. I don't know what it's called.
We do.
You have a spin class. I don't know.
We do. We have a variety. We have over 30 classes a week. So there's a large variety. We do have cycle classes. I think we have close to 10 or 11 of those a week. But we have HIIT classes. We have power sculpt
classes. Did you say HIIT?
HIIT, H-I-I-T. And then we do have yoga and stretch classes, and we have silver sneakers classes. So there's a class for everyone, and I think that's a great place for people to get plugged in. And if they don't feel comfortable using equipment or using the free weights, they can come and get a tour or get a healthy living orientation to kind of become acquainted with the wellness floor, and then get plugged into a class and get to know some people and meet people on similar fitness journeys. Again, whether that's just becoming more active or becoming more social or lifting more weight, there's a place there for everybody.
That's right. Yeah. And most silver sneakers is paid for by Medicare. So all my Medicare friends out there, you have no excuse not to go to the Y unless you have a transportation issue. Because, I don't know if they pay for it all or part of it. I don't know about that. But I do know that Medicare does pay for that. And because, the insurance companies want to keep you moving.
They do.
You sit and do
preventative
nothing.
health care.
Yeah, you sit and do nothing. We're made to move. And when we don't move, we
you don't
end
use
up
it, you lose
like
it.
This.
Whatever.
All right, it's time to go. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank
I really
you for having us.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You had a great wealth of information for our viewers, so that's great.
Yeah.
All right, we're done for another week, and we will see you next week with Here's Your Good Health and a New Year, New You. Thanks for watching. Good night.
All right, so I had recently